Welcome to
No Fucking Filter. It's season 2, bitches.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It feels like we haven't seen each other in so long.
I know, it feels that way.
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about client experience.
Yes. I think sometimes people just think they're hiring us to take their photo, but that's only like half of it.
Exactly.
The other half is how we make them feel, how we show up on their day, our communication before and after, which we're going to get into because we've heard a lot of feedback about how people communicate after the wedding. But yeah, it's like something that I think gets overlooked by some photographers, and hopefully these tips will get our fellow photographers on their game.
Yeah, exactly. If you're doing some of these things, like stop doing them.
Yeah, and also kind of share with clients like how they should be treated and what they should be expecting, and kind of what experience they're going to get from someone who charges more versus someone who charges less, and vice versa.
Exactly. And that kind of circles back to what we've said in previous episodes of just getting a vibe with your photographer, because they might be really talented and take amazing photos, but that is half of it. And if you do not vibe with them or they're not treating you right, you're going to have a sour taste left in your mouth.
Yeah.
You actually said something recently that I really liked, which was...
Oh, okay. What was it?
The reviews. Like, when you receive a review, 9 times out of 10, they're more about what the experience was versus, like, the actual tangible photos, which were awesome anyway, but it's, like, what really resonates and, like, stays with a client is how they felt, right? So.
Yeah, I recently read through mine. I was updating my website, and I went on Google and read through my reviews, and almost every review had the same wording, which was crazy because it kind of gave me like some insight into, I don't know, because we show up, we know how we feel and how we approach things, but it's interesting to see how our clients view us. So almost every review said that I made them feel really comfortable,
which is so important.
Yeah, so that made me feel good because that is my goal. Have you ever gone through yours and noticed like a theme or anything?
But I definitely will be after this, and I think we should encourage everyone out there to like go through your reviews and kind of see what sticks out to your clients.
And for clients, when they're hiring a photographer, to go on Google and look at their reviews. I mean, I feel like it takes a really bad experience for someone to leave a bad review. Yeah. But you'll see, I mean, Google reviews are huge. It takes a lot of action on a client's part to go onto Google, actually sit down, type out a review. So when they do it, they really mean those words.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, read your reviews, get a vibe with the photographer, and that will save you a heck of a lot of trouble in the future. Because if you just show up, also like not having that like communication and rapport with someone prior to, and you're walking into a room to be photographed, that person has to be on their game of like making sure that that person feels really comfortable, because you don't know each other, right? So
yeah, this is why I really, really encourage engagement sessions with your wedding photographer, so you can kind of get to know each other, feel things out, get a feel for how they're going to show up on your wedding day. Also, see the photos, and if there's anything at that point that's a red flag, it's time for you to get out before the wedding. But it's just such a good way to get to know each other.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So we actually posted on our Instagram and went to the public, wanted a couple stories from some people of their own personal experiences, and people had a lot to share. So
yeah, should we read them?
Yeah, we're going to read them and kind of discuss and break them down.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. How important direction is. I think no matter the photographer's style, the photographer has to set up the couple to succeed with guidance that aligns with their style. I had no clue what to do. Now that I'm a photographer, I try to always remember that feeling and figure out how much our little direction helps each couple relax into the photos and get the kind of prompts that achieve my style.
You really have to be reading the couple, and you are so good at this, actually. Like, just observing you on wedding days, Lisa, is like you can tell when someone's over it.
Yeah.
They're like they're just wanting to go enjoy their cocktail hour. You're like you understand that, and you're not going to push and and
Yeah.
that's like a skill that I think, I don't know if it can be taught. I think just you either have it or you don't, and to be able to like.
I actually recently posted about this on Instagram, just saying, we, all of us as photographers, show up to a wedding day with all these ideas in mind and things we want to create and blah, blah, blah. But it's not our day. And you can't force someone to take time out of what is one of the biggest, most important days of their life to take photos or do things they don't want to do. So that is something I'm hyper aware of. I'm always like vibe checking, like, how are you guys doing? Are you still in this? Are you over it? And I will never, ever, once I get that feeling that they're over it, I'm over it too. Because I'm like, I don't want to, you should be enjoying your day. Like, there's a time. And I've worked with other photographers where I've seen them like push that limit, and I can tell from their clients that they're uncomfortable and they're not in it anymore. And it just like kills me, because I'm like, this is their day. It's not about you. You got a couple of photos. That's really all they need.
Yeah. True. And then even with like smaller sessions, so you can give guidance and things, like say an engagement session, for example, creating a really like fun environment and really thinking of your posing and your direction, but then not every couple is the same. So tweaking it to that couple. So if they're not super like PDA or like touchy-feely, then you do some different posing or different prompts for those people. So
I'm like cringing just thinking about it, but awkwardness is the worst thing ever. And as a photographer, it's our job to like eliminate that awkwardness, whatever.
100%.
And there's no like recipe for it, because every couple, like you said, is so different. I think it really is just about it, like getting to know them, listening, picking up on their body language, and like going with what they want to do, not what we want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm very vocal. I'm very like, oh my God, this is amazing. Oh my gosh, this is great. Like, and I'm constantly giving that reassurance as I'm taking photos. If I was silent, at least for me, like as a client, like I would feel awkward.
I think if clients leave their shoot feeling awkward, you did a bad job as a photographer.
You did a really bad job.
Like, honestly, I'd rather someone say they didn't love their photo than they felt awkward with me.
Yeah, 100%.
Because the photo, there's a lot of things that go into that, lighting, editing, whatever. But the way you make someone feel, that's how you get the good photos, is when you make someone feel so comfortable and like confident that they can just relax and like.
Exactly.
Yeah. So don't be awkward, guys. Actually, this goes on to, and I knew we'd go on some tangents here, but probably like 70 or 80% of the inquiries that I get say, we're so awkward in photos, or we're so uncomfortable in front of the camera. And I'm like, no, you're not. You just had a bad photographer.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
A good photographer will not make you feel that way.
Yeah,
They'll leave and be like, that was so awesome.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Okay, here's another one. This one is wild. My body was edited without my permission once. The before and after was shown to me, and they were all excited about their amazing Photoshop work. It shook me pretty bad to realize that feeling of someone thinks I look better edited could happen in real life.
Okay, this is a whole other topic, you guys.
Yeah,
that is bad. Really, really off.
Firstly, you should never comment on someone's body.
Exactly, 100%.
Secondly, if if their body needs to be photoshopped because it looks weird, then that's on you.
Yeah, you didn't pose them right.
That photo should not be delivered.
Yeah.
To whoever that person was, I'm sorry that happened to you. Okay. I had a shoot done and the photographer was very unprofessional, and I felt weird and awkward as the photographer wasn't giving me any direction or guiding the shoot in any way. I kept having to ask if I looked okay, if my hair was in the right place, and it felt like the photographer didn't know what to do. I walked away feeling awkward and unsatisfied in that moment, so when I received my photos, I was already unsatisfied and looking at them with an altered feeling towards them. I wish things had been a bit different, or they directed me into better positions or lighting. This goes with the whole, like, your experience affects how you view your photos.
100%. Your feeling walking out of that session immediately. And Miranda had said this. We've referenced Miranda in the past. Like at ARC, she said, the feeling that they have during the session, when they look back at their photos, they're going to have that same feeling, right?
That's what they'll remember.
Yeah. So that's really sad because if those awkward vibes and then you're just not feeling like very confident yourself and then you look at the photos, of course you're not going to feel.
Also, most people are not models. It's not up to them to figure out what to do. It's up to the photographer to give them some prompts, or if they need more direction, to step in, give them more direction, turn them towards where the light should be. You know, that's our job.
Yes.
To do that.
We as photographers, we guide the whole entire thing. So like if you see, and I think like clients like this, like if we see like a patch of light and we're like, oh my gosh, come over here. Like this is going to be so good. They immediately are like, okay, they see something I don't see. I trust this. This sounds good. Like they know what they're doing. They're excited about this photo they're about to take. So yeah, just really like, you know, if something's not working, taking control. And like, I've walked into people's houses before and I've been like, no, I'm going to just switch a little thing around because it'll make the photo 10 times better. Right. And like, I'm not as documentary. So like, I am really, I'm willing to just move furniture and move things around and be like, that I know you guys wanted this wall. What's the significance? Oh no, I just thought it was going to be good. No, it's not good for lighting. We're going to go over here kind of thing. So yeah. And it's just, sorry, I'm talking so much. Like I'm on a tangent.
Get on that tangent.
Also when it's like showing a photo that looks so amazing and then you like back up and you're like beside a dumpster and people would be like, I would have never known you were like in that place. Like it doesn't look like it would be an alley or whatever. And that's the beauty of our job and the beauty of ourselves is we see things so differently as photographers. We're able to.
But we have to be confident in that moment.
Totally.
For our clients to trust us.
Exactly. And play around and, you know, like if something's not working, don't say it's not working. This is a huge thing.
You can still take a couple of photos and then move around
or
change the thing. I guess on the flip side of that, and I'm just really blowing up my own Instagram right now. I just made an Instagram post about this the other day, saying that although it's up to us to get the good photos, it is not up to us to interrupt a moment to get those photos. So I've seen it. I've seen couples, you know, hugging someone and the photographer's pulling them away to go get portraits, or the photographer's been late with the couple and now dinner's late and 100 guests are waiting for them. Like that is not cool. It's not our day to do those things. So I think it's like giving that direction, but also being really conscious of like how everyone's feeling, how the time's going. Are we on time of the timeline? All those kind of things are up to us to keep the flow going.
Yeah, because you could negatively affect the flow if you decide to go longer or whatnot.
Yeah, or interrupt a moment. I was second shooting with someone recently, and the groom and his dad were having the most beautiful moment after the ceremony. Like they were both sobbing because the mom had passed away recently, and they were just like having the most emotional moment. And the officiant came in and was like, okay, that was amazing. Blah, blah, blah. Come here.
Oh my God.
And it crushed me to watch that interrupted. They both quickly like dried their eyes and like pulled away from their hug and
what
kind of like went on. And I was like, it just like made me feel so sad.
Yeah, no kidding.
Interrupted.
Rude.
Yeah, I think it's just we have to be so conscious of always what's happening.
Yeah, 100%. Wow, we went on a whole tangent there.
I remember when we said this was going to be short? I don't think it is.
It will be.
Oh, this is bad.
Oh, God.
One of my best friends, their photographer, lost the phone that all of their wedding video clips were on.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Sorry, so the photographer lost the phone. How? Like she was
I don't
holding on
know.
to it for them?
I don't know.
Okay, whoever sent this in, we need more information. Like,
Yeah, maybe they were taking a bunch of phone behind the scenes or something and they lost that phone. I don't know. Lost the phone is in quotes, so sounds like something was going on. The same person also says a friend's photographer was late to her wedding. Like we waited for her to arrive to start the ceremony. And then she denied being late when I confronted her about it, saying the bride gave her the wrong location. We after confirmed she did not give her the wrong location.
That's a really
bad. There's like no reason you should ever be late.
No.
Like if you're not an hour early sitting in your car,
I know.
You're late.
Lisa's time. I like it.
I don't know. On a wedding day, there's just so many factors. Like I always leave way earlier than I need to. What if there's traffic? What if parking? What if your car breaks down?
Yeah.
What if you
And we're always looking at like our backpacks, making sure we have everything. Yes. Of course, we're looking at the locations over and over and like already prepped them the night before. And like we know exactly where we're going. They're in the map. Like
but this is also a really big, well, we're going to like come back to this, I think, a few times, but it's communication.
Yes.
Because shit happens. Whatever, we're all human. But if something had happened that the photographer was running late, she should have immediately been texting saying, I'm so sorry, I'm 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Because like,
still doesn't make it better, but like.
It makes it a little bit better because they're not just wondering, like standing around being like, is she ever
imagine the vibe?
Come? Like, oh,
can you imagine the vibe?
Showing up? No, I'd never show up.
Yeah.
I just
never
no show.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt.
If you're enjoying this episode, we would really appreciate it if you downloaded it.
Downloads are the best way for us to generate revenue.
The money helps us come out with new episodes and have more amazing guests.
Subscribe to the show to automatically download future episodes and make sure to leave us a rating and review. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
And share it with a friend. Okay. I missed an hour of my wedding day because my photographer didn't read the timeline. They never apologized or offered to make it up to me. I still feel sad because I don't have great photos with my mom and sister.
This is flip side of just really good client care. You need to be ahead of it, like before your client even has an opportunity to say, I'm upset about this, you are already rectifying the situation in some way.
Yeah.
Making it up to someone for a mistake, and mistakes happen, but how the hell do you...
I think they must have just taken way longer, and couples are just going with the flow on their wedding day. They're sort of in this tunnel.
Like,
if there's a planner, that's great. They're helping, but ultimately it's up to us. We're the ones that are with the couple for the entire day.
Yeah.
And I think people don't realize that that's a part. Like, we don't just show up and take the photos. We're making sure everything happens on time. We're adjusting. If like traffic's slow, then we have to cut off some of that photo time to get back. Like, there's a lot of moving parts, and it's up to us to give that care and make sure that.
Yeah. And it's a lot of pressure. Like, and this is why a lot of people don't get into the wedding industry. At least, like, this is what people have told me. They're like, I don't know how you do it. It's so much pressure. It's whatever. It is a lot of pressure, and you have to be on your A game all day.
Yeah. Really, a good photographer that's going to give a good experience is going over that timeline with their clients a few weeks out on a call. And then the night before, they're printing off that timeline. They're memorizing it so they know how long they have, where they have to go, blah, blah, blah. And then on the day of, they've got it printed in their hand, or it's like on a lock screen on their phone, and they're constantly checking their watch saying, okay, 15 minutes, we've got to go here. Like, it's tough because you have to leave time for those candid moments to happen, but you also, it's up to us to be like managing that.
Yep. 100%.
Yikes. An hour's a long time.
Yeah. This one says, lack of attention drove me crazy. Documentary style is one thing. Didn't fluff my train, adjust my veil, and crooked in half of my photos. You know, that's a big one too. Like, you have to be attentive. Like you were saying, like, we kind of have to be aware of everything, but like slowing down and taking a moment to be like, you know what? Her hair would look better this way, or her veil is screwed up. That'll save you time in editing, but
some things can't be fixed in editing, and then it's on you. Okay, another one. I've felt body shamed before. Odd comments like, oh, you won't fit there. Oh, which one of you can fit there? Funny and bizarre now, but at the time as a bridesmaid, it totally ruined my day, and I was insecure already.
Yeah, you really have to be careful of what you're saying. Just positive, positive, positive. No negative talk at all.
Unless it's to the boys when they're fucking around.
Oh, yeah.
Say whatever you want. Just kidding. I think this is we've kind of mentioned this before, but on a wedding day, you're not just there for your couple. You are there to be kind and respectful and polite to every single person in that room.
Yeah.
Because there's a team of bridesmaids who are with you all day. Everyone's picking up on those vibes. So
yeah, leave your bad day at home. I'll just say that. And I'm sorry, but like you have so many opportunities at a wedding to gain more business that you really have to think of it like as not just this one client. It's like your future reputation going forward, right? So you just want to treat everyone with respect.
Yeah, that's just so
crazy
weird
that
me.
we have to freaking say that.
Yeah,
like why are there photographers out there doing
I don't know, job? But this one's really bad. My photographer told me they weren't comfortable photographing fat people. ... I'm fat. Haha. This experience is what pushed me into becoming a boudoir photographer and body image coach. No one ever needs to hear those words. All bodies deserve to be in beautiful photos.
Wow.
That is so messed up.
That photographer clearly needs to...
I hope they're not a photographer anymore.
I know.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, what, you only photograph models?
Like, I'm sorry, you have a very easy job. Like, not saying that it's like, but real people take direction. Like, they need, they've never been in front of a camera or whatnot. And it's our responsibility to make them feel confident, comfortable, beautiful.
Let's talk a little bit about how a vendor can affect the vibe of the whole day.
Yes. Okay, so instead of like client experience, it's like...
Like, have you ever had someone on a wedding day, another vendor, kind of mess with your vibe?
I have. And it's so easily done. Like, I feel like the way to eliminate any type of issues, I guess, is communication. And I highly suggest people walk into a wedding day and introduce themselves right away, because you need to be working as a team. And what about you? Do you have a story to share with us?
I have a lot of stories, but I don't know if I can share.
Lisa, this is the NFF podcast. No filter.
Maybe they listen.
So they need to hear it.
Yeah, the way people interact with each other, people can pick up on that. Guests can pick up on that. Clients can pick up on that. So if there's someone there that showed up with a bad attitude and is kind of making little comments behind the scenes or trying to get competitive with the other vendors and kind of grumping, that's going to affect the experience of everyone in that room. Yeah. That energy is like tangible and everyone can feel it.
Mainly, you're the wedding couple. Like, you don't want to, like,
Yeah. I've literally never had to do this once because shut the fuck up, it's one day. But if something is so bad that you feel like you have to say something, take that person, say, hey, can I speak to you outside for a moment? And you just go and have an adult conversation and say, sorry, the way you're doing this is bothering me, or whatever. I don't know. Like I said, I've never done this, but I feel like that's the way to handle it. You can't be passive aggressive, making little comments, or you can't be bitching to other people. God forbid. I've had where like someone talks to a guest about something that's going on.
What
I'm like, you cannot do that.
Oh my God.
You're there to be in the background.
Yeah.
Oy.
That actually, so we were asking about client experiences, but we did get one person submit, she's a photographer and she had an experience with another vendor. I'm going to just read her story.
Okay.
There was one wedding that still makes my stomach twist when I think about it. I had a stressful experience with a videographer team that genuinely made me want to walk off the job halfway through the day.
Whoa.
They were a couple, both doing video, but from the moment we arrived, I could tell something was off. No communication, no collaboration, just this really intense, we run the show kind of energy. I'm all about working as a team on wedding days, but they had zero interest in that. Instead, they were constantly stepping in front of me during key moments, first look, ceremony, first kiss, you name it. I had the perfect shot lined up, and suddenly I'm photographing the back of their heads. And that's really bad. Like, you both need to be able to supply something to the client. The client's happiness is like what you're there for. And if you're going to take that away from someone else, like, she keeps going. So it got worse when one of them randomly started trying to take over the photography.
What?
They were giving the couple posing directions, repositioning things I had already set up, even trying to dictate how I should shoot. I tried to stay calm and professional, but when I spoke up to try and collaborate, they straight up tried to argue with me, like on the wedding day in front of the couple. Things came to a head during golden hour portraits, the time of the day I protect with my life. I had it perfectly planned with the couple, and they kept yanking them out of the frame mid-shot, taking over and ignoring everything we had said. And then the moment I'll never forget is the bride herself turned to them and said, if you take one more photo, I'm going to kick you out. I was honestly stunned and horrified, but also a little validated because she saw what I had been dealing with all day. But that's like what you, like,
Yikes.
Oh my God.
I actually had a very similar experience last summer, and the videographer and I just weren't vibing. He was like asking them to do the same thing over and over again. I would, they'd be walking and he'd be like, oh, stop, can you go back? And it just wasn't how I worked. So I was, gritting my teeth and just trying to deal with it. And to my like horror, because this is on me for giving off these vibes, the bride and groom actually were like, are you okay? Because they noticed that I was like getting frustrated, and I was like, yep, no, everything's fine. And then after a bit, they said, he's really annoying you, isn't he? And I was like, no, everything's great. So that was on me for letting it affect me.
What can you do though? Like,
I'm going to say a hot take here.
Okay.
The photographer's in charge.
They are.
Videographers can back the fuck up. Shut up. Not really, because we love when we can collaborate.
Yeah.
I mean, you do video. We work with some amazing videographers. But ultimately, the photographer on a wedding day is in charge.
They are.
Because those photos can't be replicated. Video can be cut up, edited, whatever stuff. They just need a moment. Yeah. But photo, if someone's standing in front of you for the first kiss and you don't get that photo, that's it.
There are moments of the day that you both have to be like basically shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
And then there's moments of the day where you really need to take a back seat. We're both equally as important, but I think that there's just different ways to capture video than there is photo.
You should definitely be communicating before the wedding, at least a hello to introduce yourself. And then when I get there on a wedding day, I'm like, is there anything you need from me? Is there anything I can do to make your day better?
Yeah.
Same with video. It's like hey guys, where are you going to be standing during the ceremony? Here's where I'd like to be. Does that work for you?
And that little gesture goes such a long way.
Yeah.
It truly does.
And I think on the topic of communication, it goes for clients too. Like we were saying, we're all human. Things happen throughout wedding days and the process, but it's just being able to communicate. I recently saw some clients. I shot their wedding at the beginning of last summer. and I saw them for something else. And I said, oh, I haven't seen your wedding video yet. I'd love for you to share it. And they were like, yeah, neither have we. And this was just a few weeks ago. Their wedding was at the end of July, and they had not heard from their videographer. They hadn't checked in to give them an update or anything. So they were completely in the dark. And I think that they weren't like rushing. They didn't need it, but what bothered them and their first thing was not like, oh, we're so excited to see it. The first thing they said was, yeah, we haven't heard. So that was the first thing in the top of their mind. And we hear this with photos. I've had clients tell me like, oh yeah, we didn't get our wedding photos back until blah, blah, blah. And that's a negative thing. You don't want people out there like, that's their first thought when they look at their wedding photos. And that can be solved with simple communication and checking in. I think you can't check in enough with clients. No. Hey guys, I'm working on your photos. You can expect them in 2 weeks. God forbid they're going to be late. You're like, hey, I'm so sorry. Something came up. It's going to be this date, but it's just keeping them in the loop always.
100%.
Yeah.
Agree. So if you take anything away from this, it's communication.
Yeah.
But like, should we just rename the episode maybe?
Communication is key. Well, there's a few, we kind of touched a little bit on this too, is like how your experience was with your photos and your photographer is going to affect the lens that you see them through.
Yeah.
And another thing that happened to me with a client, I was doing her branding photos, and she said, oh, I just wish we hired you for our wedding photos. They feel so comfortable around you. And I was like, oh, what do you mean? She was like, we had the worst experience. And I was like, what? And she said, our photographer was so rude to us and just so like, like business on the day of, that they didn't make them feel special. They didn't have fun with them.
Yeah.
So now they hate their photos, even though their photos are probably beautiful.
Yeah.
They just don't like them because that's what they remember.
That's so sad.
How sad.
Yeah, because we've said it again and again. If we cannot drill this into your brain enough, like, find someone you like their photos, find someone that you jive with, and that needs to find someone in the middle of both of that, because it is going to make or break your day and the way you feel about it. So
yeah, it's one day. I mean, if we're just talking about weddings, it's one day. And if there's any weird vibes throughout the experience, it's totally going to affect your wedding day.
And I don't know about you, but I feel like everyone can relate to this in any job or anything. You go to work, if there's like someone that you're not really like eager to like hang out with, you don't really jive with, it's going to make your work day kind of shitty, to be honest. And so for us, even working with clients that we don't jive with, that's a no, right? Like, we want to be happy doing our jobs. We love this work. Like, we strive to find those clients that love us, that we love them, and that we just like see eye to eye. Like, that's the best fit. So
agreed. The last kind of like thing about experience I think we need to touch on, we've talked about the lead up, meeting with people, doing an engagement shoot, maybe the communication with the team, whatever. But we've been seeing this a lot and hearing this a lot, is that everything just stops after the wedding.
Yes.
And there's clients out there being left in the dark as to when they're going to get their photos, or they haven't got sneak peeks, or the like aftercare is terrible.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop on the wedding day. The experience is from like the second they reach out to you to inquire until they receive their photos, and maybe even after that, because if you give clients a good experience, they're going to have you in their life forever. I have clients that have been with me for like almost 10 years at this point.
Yeah. I'll be honest, like, I haven't always had the best customer care client experience, and that's something I strive to work on every single year. And like, seeing other people go through it and realizing, oh yeah, like after the wedding day, there is still some things that you have to do, and like guidance or communication or Yeah. So,
And I think if that's the case, you took too much on. Like everyone's done it, right? If you can't take care of your clients after the wedding because they're done, you're stuck in this huge pile of editing, you don't even have time to answer an email, that's on you as the photographer, as the vendor. You took on too much work and now you're burnt out, or now you're stuck in this like pile.
You're explaining me for the last 4 years, yes.
Yeah.
No, things are changing. If you need to find supports, there's so many supports, right? And
I think this time of year, I don't know when you guys will hear this, but it's April right now. So I think this time of year as a wedding vendor, this time of year is so important. This is when you should be refining your processes. You should have a clear, like easy path to take care of your clients, put everything in the calendar, like call them on this date to touch base before the wedding, have your client gifts ordered that you can send them out after. I have a pile sitting that haven't been sent out yet, so nobody listen to me. But in a perfect world, this is what you should be doing.
Yeah.
The more you kind of have everything in check, then the better experience your clients are going to have, and the more money you can charge, and then you can take on less clients and give everyone
such a beautiful
better experience.
I think it's funny when people think that we just work like in the summer and then just like don't do anything in the winter, but there's so much that is going on behind the scenes that we do. So. Anyway, this was an awesome topic, an awesome episode. I'm so sorry to everyone who's had a really shitty experience with a photographer. And I hope that doesn't taint you going forward getting professional photos, because there are really good photographers out there. Just make sure to meet them and get a good vibe.
And if you've had an amazing experience, leave a review. Tell all your friends about it. Post about it on your Instagram, because that helps us find more of our people that we're going to vibe with. So
100%.
Okay, well, we really went off there.
Yeah. Okay, cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Well, you don't have one, but cheers.
Are you sitting at your computer editing right now? If so, why?
Let Imagen AI do it for you and get back to doing what you love.
We are so excited to be working with Imagen AI.
Imagen is the industry-leading post-production platform. They're a team driven to build tools that let photographers spend more time doing what they love instead of at their computers.
Visit the link in our show notes to get started with Imagen and claim your free edits today.